Hi, I hope you're all well. Good afternoon and welcome to session 2. And today we are going to talk about fear. We've tackled the identity shift and the changes that we experience and the shifting in our identity and how to really understand and uncover who we are now. And next we're going to talk about fear. Now, fear is something that we all experience and it will never go away. It's what we do with it that counts and that stands us apart from everybody else. I can't promise you you'll never experience fear again. In fact, I know that you will. It's how you overcome this, and that is your secret sauce. And today we're going to talk about fear and how to overcome and how to reframe things. So, what is fear? Fear is just a feeling. It's a feeling that we get in uncomfortable situations, and it's often something that we actually create ourselves without knowing it. It's from our thoughts that aren't even real. You can absolutely change your state and how you feel in an instant. Fear is false evidence appearing real. We tell ourselves we can't do something, whatever it is, because we tell ourselves stories that just simply aren't true. When you think about starting a business, you feel fear instantly. And that is 100% normal. But to help you reframe this, you need to address the reality, not your thoughts, not your feelings, but actually cold, hard facts of reality, not things that you are making up yourselves. So you may be asking yourself things like, what if I fail? What if I can't replace my salary? What if I can't do it? I don't know enough to start a business. What will my friends think? Now, let's look at these one by one because these are 5 of the most common things that I hear from clients. And it's all well and good me saying to you, you don't need to be fearful, just do it. But actually, that's not going to help you. What you need to understand is how to think about things differently and how to retrain your brain to think about things differently, which will in turn help you overcome that fear. So let's look at the first one. What if I fail? Now, I want you to really think about this and reframe it to ask yourself when you're thinking that, because these thoughts will never go away. It's just about how we associate something different with that. And that's what I want you to think about going through this next exercise. So, what if I fail? Reframe that. And when you're thinking that, tell your brain to say, what if this is the biggest success ever beyond my wildest dreams? And you need to drill that day in, day out. So every time you get that feeling of, what if I fail? Just think, but what if it works? And what if it's the biggest success that there has ever been and it changes my life beyond my wildest dreams? And then you will start to believe this because it becomes a habit, it becomes repetition, and it will just be your natural go-to. So every time you feel like, what, I'm going to fail, reframe it. And then naturally, that's where you're going to get to and where you're going to think. So how do you know it's not going to work? You don't. You've absolutely no idea that it's not going to work. It has more chances of success than it has of not working. So why are you dwelling on the negative? If somebody was to say to you, you've got a 90% chance, a 70% chance of something happening, you would go, okay, well, that's well over 50%. We'll go with that. We'll take those odds. But when it comes to these kind of things and when it comes to ourselves and our self-belief, we just really focus on that negative, even if it might be 1%. If you posted something on social media and you had 99 positive comments and you had one that was negative, I guarantee your brain would go straight to that one that was negative. You forget all of the positive ones and you would go for that one. So you've got to retrain your brain to look for the good and look for the positive every single time. So you have got no proof that it's not going to work. But you are fearful and you want that certainty. The human brain is not built for uncertainty. The brain tries to protect us and predict what's going to happen next. And because we don't know that, you feel fear. It seeks control because once upon a time, uncertainty meant danger. But we don't live in those times anymore. So we need to change and we need to retrain our brain to catch up basically with the year that we're living in. We're not living in caveman times anymore. I can be certain you will still feel those feelings of being lost and stuck if you stay exactly where you are. And that should fill you with fear, because that should be your motivator to move forward and launch your own business. So the second thing was, what if I can't replace my salary? Let's reframe that. What if you can, and more? What if you could double what you're earning now within 2 years' time? How would that make you feel? There is absolutely no evidence that you cannot replace your salary. Look around you. There are successful businesses everywhere, and yours can be the next one. So that is what you need to think every time you're thinking, what if I can't do this? What if I can't replace my salary? Think about, yes, you can, and you can do more than that. Start with the security of launching your business alongside your current job. Then once you are up and running and you've proved to yourself and you've got the data that shows it's working, you can then plan your exit strategy. What are you fearing now? There is literally nothing to fear. What if I can't do it? Let's reframe that. What if you can? And what if you are more successful and free than you have ever been before? Would you tell your kids not to try something because they're worried they can't do it? Of course you wouldn't. You would encourage them all the time to give it a go and to take the risk and to try it. Be your own cheerleader and do the same thing for yourself. You can do whatever you put your mind to, without a doubt. One thing that I hear very, very commonly is, I don't know enough to start a business. Let's reframe that. What I don't know, I can ask for help with or use the internet. You can find absolutely anything out now. We have more tools around us than ever before. So what you don't know, you can learn and you can ask for help with. This is a totally unfounded fear. It's just not a thing because the information is all there at your fingertips. What will my friends think? This is a really big one that keeps people stuck. Reframe it. This is something that I learned when I was working with a coach, and it's stuck with me ever since. Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. One of the biggest things you will learn is it doesn't matter what other people think of you. Once this clicked in my brain, it was pure gold. It's not about being a dick and treating people like crap because you don't care. That is not what I'm getting at all. It's about being true to yourself and sharing that post, being brave and posting your first business post because do you really care what someone from work thinks, or someone that you met 3 years ago, or one of the mums from school? Do you really genuinely care about what they think? Because if you do, you shouldn't. Of course you don't. Just do you. The right people will stick around. And if they don't, then so what? They weren't the right people to be in your lives right now. The right people raise you up. The people that bring you down are irrelevant and you need to move on for them. So stop thinking about other people's opinions because it really doesn't matter. But I get it. I get avoiding risks and fear because, again, it's keeping us safe. It's that need for certainty, the need to know the outcome, the need to know, if I told you today your business was going to make you more money than you've ever had before in the next 2 years, you would be more successful, you would be more financially free, you would have more freedom of time, you would have more focus, and you would have more fulfillment, and you could get all that within 2 years, would you go for it? 100% you would. But your need for safety and the fear of the unknown is keeping you stuck, and we need to get rid of that. If you start your business alongside your current job, what is the fear then? There is none, because you've already got your salary, so you're no worse off. So why would you not go for it? Why would you not do something extraordinary and absolutely build your dream life for not just you, but for your family as well, and show your kids that anything is possible? Because that's what you tell them every day. I guarantee it. It's all right to feel fear. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel fear. It's good to feel fear. It's how you overcome that and how you reframe that, and think about how you talk to your kids about filling them with confidence and supporting them and telling them to give everything a go. Do that for yourself. Absolutely do that for yourself. But I get it. But when families are involved, the stakes are high. I understand. You have commitments, you have bills, you can't just leave your job. So you stay exactly where you are. And that is a fear that you should lean into. Fear of being exactly in the same place today as you will be in 12 months' time. And how does that feel? Because that should fill you with fear. So why don't you do it? Why don't you start today? Tell me on this post, on this thread, what is holding you back? Is it fear? Is it something else? Because everything that you are putting in your own way, we can overcome.